Hello, am I audible, guys? Can you just give a confirmation? Hello, hi everyone, thanks for joining. Am I audible? If you can just confirm me. Okay, thanks for joining. We'll just wait for 1 or 2 minutes, then we will start. So that others can join. Hi, Siddhant. Thanks for joining, everyone. So here we have gathered to discuss some of the concepts in data science, be it technical or non-technical. I can take your personal queries, but maybe towards the end of the session, okay? Yes, definitely. I can add more videos on SQL, but whatever SQL videos are there, that is not less, I would say, okay? If you go and do the practice, that will help you a lot. How was your Belgium trip? It was good. Belgium is a good place. All over chocolates and waffles and all these things. Weather was good, so it was kind of okay. Which one is best, technical or non-technical? It depends on your interest, okay? So we have like 10 people now. Let more people join. Eyes on you. Please hold on your queries for end of the session, okay? Don't keep pasting same query or any queries. I will take your queries towards end of the session, okay? So all of you guys who have joined, just go ahead and press the like button so that everybody gets recommendation, okay? And let's move ahead with our first question for today. Let me try making it full screen. Why it's not going full screen? Okay, some problem here. I'm just trying to make it full screen so that small characters are visible well, right? Okay. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Let's go ahead with the first question, the simple one. So you have to match column A to column B. Sorry, this is copied from the previous last week's slide, so it writes activation function. Ignore this actually. Ignore activation function and output range. Just match column A to column B, okay? So regression models, high bias, ensemble models, low bias. What kind of matching will happen? Just tell me. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Ignore the column header and do the matching, okay? So regression model will have high bias or low bias. Regression will have low bias, okay? And how about ensemble? Ensemble model will have higher bias, Vivek is saying. Some people are saying low bias. Just think and tell me. So when a model is supposed to have bias, tell me, what is the meaning of bias when a model is supposed to have bias, or model is said to be having bias? What kind of situation? Just tell me. Forget underfitting, overfitting, etc. What is the meaning of model having high bias? Again, you are saying underfitting. No, my question is very simple. What is the meaning when I say a model is having higher bias? No, Charan is saying underfitting. Uma is saying not able to predict correctly. That's not high bias. Both of these are not high bias. Not able to perform well on training data. That is also not correct. Higher bias is equal to low training data error. That is also not correct. Prediction goes wrong. Same thing you are saying in other language, not correct. What is the meaning of a model having higher bias or model is biased? What is the meaning of that? Can you do some Googling and tell me quickly? What is the meaning of model having higher bias or a biased model? Or what is the general meaning of bias in your understanding? General meaning of the word bias. What is the meaning? In terms of probability also, this is an important concept. So what is bias actually? Based model means resulting towards one side, partially towards only some section. Yes, I mean some part of your answer is correct, Charan, Sai. You are saying partially towards only some section. Difference between actual and predicted is called your error, not bias, right? Yes, bias meaning having some partiality. For example, partiality you can say, or you can say favoring something, or you can say assuming something. For example, there was an India Pakistan match, right? Recently India won that match, or in that match if the umpire is giving even if there is some margin, then also they are giving decision in favor of India, then we say that umpire is biased towards India, right? So the meaning of bias is inclined towards some assumption or some feelings or some properties like that. Okay. Like biased media, very good example, right? So nowadays media is also very much biased. For example, they will try to in circulate one kind of agenda or one kind of narrative, one kind of thought process, right? That is called a bias. So in terms of modeling, what kind of model assumes that, or pre-assumes that there will be some kind of form or underlying structure or underlying things in the data, that model will be called as a high bias model, because model is biased towards one kind of assumption, one kind of phenomena, one kind of what you say behavior. So which is that model? Ensemble models or regression model, which says that or assumes that my data will be in this form, or my data will follow this structure. So your regression model basically assumes things, right? So it assumes that there is a linear relation between independent and target. Then your regression model assumes that the there are many assumptions of linear regression, right? So all those are kind of one, it is one kind of bias. For example, if you say that you know one person is always right, that's a bias, right? So here also we are assuming that the form of the data is always linear, which may or may not be true. So regression model will be higher biased model, and ensemble model is basically a tree model, decision tree model. So decision tree does not have lot of underlying bias, right? So it will be called as a low bias model. right? So thanks everyone who has joined now, and please go ahead and press the like button if you're liking this session. So there will be 3 questions on the same topic, okay? On the same thing that you are seeing on the screen, there will be 2 more questions, okay? I will just come to that. So first you have to understand that higher bias means we are favoring something, or we are assuming something, or we are kind of having a pre-opinion about something, okay? So which model does that? Regression model. Ensemble model is tree model, so it doesn't do that. Let's go to the next one. So can you tell me, out of regression model and ensemble model, which is a parametric and which is a non-parametric model? Which is a parametric and which is a non-parametric model? If you have forgotten the definition of parameter and non-parametric model, I can remind you, but please try once. Which is a parametric and which is a non-parametric? Ensemble is a non-parametric and ensemble is parametric. Are you sure, Vivek? What is the definition of a parametric model? Anybody? Regression assumes a normality of residuals. That is correct. But is that the definition of parametric model? Yogendra, I'm asking to you. Is it the definition of parametric model? Your whatever you have written is correct, but is that the definition? Regression is parametric. I agree, Mohammed Taib, but what is the meaning of a model being parametric is my question to all of you. Parameters are important while running the important. Okay. Regression parametric, ensemble non-parametric, correct. But what makes a model parametric is my question to you. Yes, everybody is agreeing on that. Regression parametric, ensemble non-parametric. Follows distribution or assumes distribution. Okay, that is nothing but your parametric model. Parametric model means it will assume one form of the data and try to estimate the numbers based on that form. For example, if I give you some data, then you assume that data will fall in this particular structure or this particular shape, and then you start estimating your coefficients to define that shape. That is what kind of model? Parametric model, right? So regression obviously assumes a linear, there is a linear relation. So your regression model tells that y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2. Now your entire job is to find that beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. Okay, so this is a parametric model. Ensemble model, basically a tree model. Nothing to predict, I mean nothing to, no coefficients or no mathematical assumption of the form of the data, hence non-parametric. Parametric, Mustafa, I am explaining you one more time. Parametric means you are estimating parameters of the model based on an underlying assumption or underlying structure that you have thought that model will follow. So in linear regression or logistic regression, the underlying pattern that the model is supposed to follow is the linear pattern, and then you estimate the parameters, hence parametric. Okay, there also you are estimating some form. In Vivek is asking polynomial regression. Any kind of regression, the form remains the same, just that you are estimating various. So you have to understand very simply like that. You are assuming a form and then estimating parameters. Yes, logistic regression also. Okay. So you understood what is the difference between bias, I mean how these things are related. Bias, parametric, and the third one I have put here. Overfitting will lead to higher bias or high variance. Underfitting will lead to high bias or high variance. Based on your knowledge, what do you think? No, 1B sign saying high variance means overfitting, and high variance means overfitting. Underfitting means normally high biased model will underfit, because you are assuming many things about the data. Okay. So it's very simple here. Overfitting means, your data is so well in love with your model that any new data which comes, your model may not behave properly with that. That is your overfitting. Okay. And underfitting is your model has not learned your data itself. Okay. Because of many assumptions, because of many things that you have done, your model has not learned the pattern itself. So obviously when it has not learned the pattern, there may be an underlying high bias model. And if it is in too much love with the data, that is a high variance scenario. Okay. So understand this carefully. All the models where you assume form of the data, that becomes your basically parametric higher bias model. You will not get very good accuracy, but at the same time model will be stable. Okay. On the other hand, if you talk of ensemble models, tree models, no assumptions, it may lead to overfitting and high variance. This is basically rule of the thumb. Okay. Next one, from SQL, you have to tell me how joins and subqueries are different and which is more efficient and why. How joins are different from subqueries? First question, first part. And second is, which one is more efficient and why? Which one is more efficient out of join and subquery and why? And what is the difference between these two also? You have to tell me. And can I do the same task using a join and a subquery, both the things? Can I perform the same task? So one answer I have got, joins can be used to join two tables. Subquery can be used to capture data, which is quite intricate to get from the same table. Okay. Join fetches all the columns and rows. Join concatenates the two table. Concatenates means what? I am not getting. Join is better. Join we use table. Subquery is kind of where we make out of table. Join is best. Subquery is only for part of the data. See, basically, most of the time, 99% of the time, you can do everything using a subquery that can be done using a join. Okay. But the way RDBMS systems or database systems are made is it will work better with joins. Okay. The reason for that is joins will work on the keys. Okay. And keys are designed in such a way internally in RDBMS systems that it is made to interact with other tables. That is point number one. Point number two is if you write multiple, so all these are interview questions. Okay. They will ask you how joins is better than subquery. So you can say a subquery will unnecessarily make your query look very, very complex. Okay. Other thing is if you want to debug your code, in the case of subqueries, it may be very tricky to debug if you are having a very large code. Okay. And computationally also subqueries will be expensive as compared to join. So due to all these points, though we can do 99% of the things using subquery that we can do using join, but we should prefer using joins only for, especially for larger data sets. Okay. So let's go to the next one. And can you give me, don't give me a pseudo code, give me a code which is running. Write a function to reverse a given integer. For example, your somebody who is not on the computer, they can give me a pseudo code or logic, but try to give me a running code. Okay. So what should your function do is you should take a number and reverse it. Sherin is asking, having clause more efficient than subqueries. These two things are different in my opinion. I mean, purpose wise, having and subqueries. So if you're trying, let me know that you're trying. So you have to give me a function that takes a number and gives me the reversed number. This is your string actually that you are doing. I want to pass an integer, basically not a string. Yes, what Vivek is writing, this kind of logic I want. Number, digit, sum. So he's just kind of taking, moduling by 10 and taking the remainder, which is a right approach. I'm not sure this will run or not run. You can give me a running code, or if you have run, you can just tell me that you have run this. This is just to make you do some assignment, okay? Otherwise you will sleep. It's in India sleeping time, right? Most of you would have dinner also. So just to break your sleep pattern. Okay, integer input number. Okay, I'm not sure because in the chat, it is not very properly syntaxed also. So I can just see the logic from the top. Okay, so it looks fine. Whatever you have given me, Mahendra Reddy. Any somebody else they can give me? Num is equal to print str. No, don't make it str. The number. So the logic which Vivek has given me, I think that logic is good, or Mahendra has given me. So you have to just keep taking the modular operator, take the remainder, and reverse way you have to append it. Okay, that is the logic I wanted to see in this one. Then we will go to the next one. This is a basically discussion topic. Okay, and I wanted to discuss this with some of you who is learning data science from some institutes or universities, or somebody like me, or somebody like any other place which is not industry. So all in all, if you are learning data science and not working in an organization in a data science project, then I have 2-3 topics to discuss today with you. So I'm naming this as institute versus industry. Just I'm keeping a generic word industry. So first topic is data. In terms of data, you have to understand quality, how to import data, what is the need of the data, use of the data, and data preparation. Okay, so all these things I will explain you now. First of all, the quality of data that you will see in the institutes or in the learning places, right, will be very simple kind of quality. I mean, it will not be very dirty data, it will not be very realistic data. So you have to understand that in industry you will find a very dirty data. You will find data which is not in a proper shape and format. Okay, so you have to take care of that. Second mistake what people do is they will go to the interview and they will say that they got data in the Excel because they have learned data science. But don't say this. In industry, as I keep insisting, 99% of the times you will not import data using Excel sheet. You will import data from some database, from some big data platform, from some cloud system, from some data lake, from some external source. Okay, so that is another difference. If you want to learn how to import this, all these things I have covered in the course, but still I want to tell you, you can install a SQL server and you can try to import data using a pipeline. So so that you have an idea of how to import the data in your environment by not using Excel sheets, etc. Okay. Then what is the need of data? So need of data nobody discusses. I mean, people start from a pre-built data. Okay, pre-built data. So you will have a pre-built Excel sheet. You will have a pre-built uh, what do you say, uh, CSV files. That if you have noticed, right, all of you have learned data science somewhere or other, you will see that everybody uses a pre-built CSV file or Excel file, right? So next time somebody uses that, you can ask them, hey, how this CSV file is prepared? Very good question and very good discussion topic. Now when you work in industry, right, people will not give you that prepared data sheet. Okay, so you as a senior data scientist is supposed to understand what columns will go in that and how those columns will come. Okay, so that is the need, use and preparation part. So try to understand the key differences in terms of data. If you are learning data science and if you are working in industry, I want you to be prepared, hence I'm telling you all these things. Quality of data, you will get poor data in industry. Import, you will import from different sources, not from Excel. Need, use and preparation. Okay, preparation, very important. You have to understand what columns you need, write SQL queries and fetch those columns. Why those columns only? Because you will use those columns for certain purpose. And what is the need of that entire data set for doing a fraud detection, for doing a clustering, for doing a regression, for doing a recommendation, whatever can be the need. Okay, based on that you will prepare the data. Okay, so all these are pointers that will be helpful for you when you work in the industry. You may not get enough exposure to these when you are in a learning environment. Okay, so that is one discussion topic for today. I will discuss some more topics around these only. Okay, let's go to the next one. Question is coming, industry data is in CSV or any other form? That's what I'm saying. 99% of the times you will not import a CSV file. You will read from some database, you will read from some cloud platform, big data system, data lake, Hadoop system, some other SQL server, some other Teradata system. Most, because you think yourself, right? Uh, CSV data or Excel data have a lot of limitations. It will break the format if column names and types are mismatching. Many limitations are there. Okay, that is the reason normally it will not come in that form. Sometimes it may come. I'm not saying it will never come. Sometimes it may come. Most of the times, no. Sharon is asking data lake meaning. Very good question. Data lake is basically a place, a common repository where an organization will put all their data from different business areas. For example, if you take a bank, any bank, for example, bank will have consumer banking, bank will have retail banking, bank will have commercial banking, right? So uh, that is business area wise, and then there will be a subject area wise or domain wise, right? So there can be a loans department, there can be a, let's say, finance department, there can be a some other department, right? So different areas, verticals of working and different departments of working. There will be lot of data. So data lake you can think of as a common place where all the data is put in its raw format. Okay, and tomorrow any part of the bank wants to do a use case, they will pull the needed data from the data lake. That is the purpose of the data lake, high level. Okay, so I have just brought the new question here. In case you want to answer, you can answer quickly. What is not affected by outliers? This one you have to think and tell me what is your view on this. Median is not impacted by outliers. How many of you are agree on this? Median is not impacted by outliers. Think on it again. I know where from this answer is coming, median, because all of you are thinking from outlier treatment point of view or out of mean and median, which will be less impacted by outlier. So median will be less impacted by outlier, that I agree, but no impact at all. Do you think so? Onkar is saying, what if median itself is an outlier? Onkar has given a very good topic for discussion. Can median itself be an outlier? Can median be an outlier? Onkar is saying like this. No, because median is in the middle, right? How it can be an outlier? Median is in the center. How can you call the center point as the outlier? So basically all will be impacted to some margin. Some will be impacted less and some will be impacted more. Okay. For example, mean will be impacted highest, most. And if you have outliers in your data, then your median will slightly shift up and down based on what kind of outlier you have more. Okay. And if your median shifts, that means your 25th percentile, 75th percentile will also shift little bit here and there, maybe little bit slightly. That makes your IQR also shift little bit slightly. So median will be hugely impacted. IQR and I'm sorry, mean will be hugely impacted. IQR and median slightly impacted. Depends on how many outliers you have basically. So if you have one or two outliers, it may be same only. But if you have multiple outliers on lower side and upper side, these two will also get impacted here and there. Okay. Yes, Mahendra is saying all are affected because which is median. This we can go for option eliminate to get the answer. Yes. So that is how that is why these discussions are important, right? To check our understanding of the things. So if I introduce one outlier, two outlier, maybe IQR and median may not get impacted much. If I introduce multiple outliers both sides, it will get impacted, right? Okay. What are the various ways to control overfitting in first case regression models, second case ensemble models or decision trees, third case neural networks, or you can say deep neural network? Think and tell me all of these one by one. Dropout, regularization, ridge and lasso for regression, ensemble, pre-pot means post pruning you're saying means pruning, regularization, depth of tree, dropout rate. Okay, pre-pruning and post pruning. Okay. How about deep neural network? Ensemble, number of trees and depth, correct. Decision tree depth, multiple things actually, but yes, depth is one thing. Ensemble, pruning, initialize, child weights. Okay. How about neural networks? Mayur is saying dropout and regularization. Correct. And are there any rules to do dropout? Mayur, since you have mentioned dropout, I mean, just a follow-up question. If you tell me dropout in interview, I will ask you, um, how do you do dropout? I mean, just you add a dropout layer and give a percentage. Based on what you give the percentage, or are there any rules or patterns that you know? Reducing the number of hidden layers, but okay, accept it. But what if you have limited hidden layers itself to start with only? Early stopping, very good, Mustafa. Atom optimizer for local minima, very good. See, very good points are coming, guys. Big cheers to all of you. To all the new joiners who have joined now, please go ahead and press the like button if you like this video, and just give answer to this question. What are the various ways to control overfitting? Regression model N1, L2. Okay. Ensemble auto pruning, deep neural dropout neurons. Fine, high level fine, Mahendra's answer. Yes, correct activation function. You can change the activation function. Many things are coming here in parts, okay? You can go ahead and change the activation function. You can modify your number of hidden layers. You can use a dropout. You can use a regularization. You can use a different optimizer. You can use a different initializer. All this will come in deep neural network. And if we talk of regression models, it will come. Uh, Basically, L1, L2 is something, it's like go-to method. So if you think that your model is overfitting, then go-to method is L1 and L2. May not be always helpful. It can be a manual process also. Just check your coefficient, just check your p-value, check the if there is multicollinearity, many things, right? In regression model also. Decision tree and variants of decision tree, for example, ensemble, random forest, whatever it is, or um, bagging, boosting also, different kinds of varieties of boosting, right? Simple funda, right? Pre-pruning, post-pruning, depth control, that is nothing but pruning. Number of leaves you control, and then sometimes you change the breaking splitting criteria to see if that is helping. Sometimes you, in ensemble model, you change number of trees. Sometimes you change how many maximum can be at each leaf, right? Each leaf, maximum number of records at each leaf, that is one criteria. So all these will come together to control overfitting. Yes, random forest itself is to control overfit. Basically, all ensemble model, the purpose is to have a generic opinion about the things. So I give this to example to people, right? Whenever I take class on ensemble model. So some of your friend is a Allu Arjun fan, for example, and any movie of that star comes, and that person will say, oh, it's an awesome movie. But maybe the new movie of Allu Arjun is not that great, okay? So in that case, if you ask to 4 or 5 people, then maybe you will get a better feedback and better opinion. So that is what ensemble model is. One model can be biased, one model can be pre-opinion it can have. Multiple models, if we combine, right, then the bias will come down. At the same time, the stability will go up, which means variance will come down. That is the purpose of basically all ensembles actually. Okay, this is a Python one, simple one. Write a code snippet to give index of second odd number from a list. You can just give it a try. SRD, today morning watched all your ensemble and boosting videos. Thank you, easy explanation. Thanks a lot for your words. Sometimes you may find in my old videos the blackboard is small. I mean the whiteboard is small, and the video quality is not that great. But if you see, it's all about learning, right? And if you want to learn something, then little bit of compromise we can do in video quality, or you know, sound will always be good quality in my old videos also. but I was shooting from the phone, normal phone. So sometimes the video quality may not be that great. But if you are with that video, right, you will learn things that I can assure you. Any video, 2 years, 3 years back also. Yes, if see, the purpose is here to learn, right? I mean, it's not a entertainment video. So it's okay if the message that I'm trying to pass on and the concept I'm trying to explain, if that is being caught by the people, then it's good. Then it's on the creator that how much good quality camera creator can use, how much good quality light they can use. That will keep on improving. Okay, so this one, anybody, the Python question? Index of second odd number from the list. Okay, you can try this later. So it will be again a logic where you go and ignore the first odd number, and whenever the next odd number comes, you get that index. Okay, you can do that offline, not a problem. If you are lazy now, no problem. And again, one more discussion topic here. I will just cover it in short. Institute versus industry. Okay. Model deployment and reusability. So one thing you would have noticed that uh, in institutes, whenever you learn or whenever somebody is trying to teach you, they will kind of end their explanation when the model is built and prediction happens, right? And they try to cover a lot of things, and they are also right in their way. Okay, because if they don't cover, let's say, SQL, if they don't cover, let's say, um, some bit of visualization, if they don't cover resume preparation, if they don't cover interview mock or interview guidance, right, those are also useful. But just to let you know, and just for your knowledge, model deployment and reusability is one topic which is very, very important if you see from industry point of view. So once you build your model, how do you use that model and how do you reuse that model? All the MLOps component will be extremely important. Try to gain much knowledge on that area. Okay. And the second point is environment setup. So when I talk of environment setup, then it is very unlikely that somebody can set up the exact environment what is there in the workplace for the learning purpose. It is unlikely actually, because there will be many paid softwares there. Okay, so if somebody is using a GCP or AWS, then it will be a paid version. Somebody is using some other software, that can be paid version. So you may not get the same environment. So what you should do is you should try to learn more around, um, let's say, version control system, or let's say how multiple developers work on the same code base, or what is a commit, what is a push, what is a pull, all these things in terms of environment setup, what is a configuration variable, many things around that. Okay, so these are the topics which are uh, little less importance given in training places. And I told you they are also what all they can cover in the limited time, right? But important for you, model deployment, reusability, and understanding the environment in which the work happens in the industry. Okay, I can create some videos on this. And this is another question, Python question. For example, if there is a list, if there is a dictionary, right, and I give you remove keys, roll number, and channel from this dictionary, then how can you remove this? You have to tell me. So there is a dictionary. I want to remove some keys. That keys is in a list from this dictionary. How to remove that? Give me some idea. Okay, if you're lazy to write the code, give me some idea. I'm waiting. Removing whole entries, yes. Remove the entry of roll number, remove the entry of channel also in one shot. Can you do in one shot? Pop method from the dict will help. Definitely that will help. Okay. Pop method is method which you can use to do this. Del method one by one you can do, but there are other smart ways of doing it. You can just try those smart ways. Okay. Okay. And I will take some 3, 4, 5 questions from you, just like Q&A. But before that, I want to make a same regular request. Many good comments on my videos, but subscription is really low. I want you to please share the channel within different groups, and please tell to people to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, you can also do it, because this is little demotivating, frankly to say, because people are not kind of pressing the subscribe button. And uh, you know there is only one thing that is motivating: comments and subscription, right? So there is no money involved. You can do this, and you can just tell to people in your friend circle or groups to subscribe. Okay. See, 75%, all of you are data analyst and data scientist, right? Watch time from subscribers. See here, 75% is from non-subscribed. So only 25% watch time is from subscribers, which means many people watch videos, they don't press. Okay. So just please share. If you feel that channels unfold data science videos and shorts and whatever posts I do, that will be useful, then that is useful for people, then please share it. Okay. That will help me a lot. So this session was all about some of the Python, what all we covered, some machine learning concepts to start with, then some SQL, then some Python stuff, some normal discussions, some statistics and ML normal discussions, and some Python topics again. Okay, so I hope this session was good. Now you can ask me some queries if you want, guys, before I close in another 9 minutes or so. Thanks, Thaib, for those words. Okay, Vivek is asking one question: how to keep checking if a model is giving proper accuracy when new data is coming after a long time, after a time, right? So multiple ways of doing that. One is when the time is gone. For example, right now we are in September. So what we will do is we will compare the results of August and what the model predicted. If it's a, for example, if it is predicting share price of a company, right, Dabur, then we will see what the model predicted as share price of Dabur and what was actual share price of Dabur in August. Okay, that is one way. Other way is we set some level of threshold. For example, the threshold is like plus minus 10% from the last one. Okay, from the last one plus minus 10%. If it is going beyond that, then it is telling, model is telling us that there is a significant shift in the prediction. Then we go back and check what all model is predicting, and then we validate with the business people, is this possible? So there can be multiple ways of looking at it. Okay, so let's say if you see, from there will be a difference between people traveling to Europe in the month of December from India, and in the month of May and June. May and June is kind of summer here. Many travelers will come for their vacation. December they will not come. So the prediction will also depend on, if it is, if Q1 it can deviate by 20%, then in which months it can deviate. So business input will also be there. So to keep it simple, multiple ways to monitor your output. Some will be domain expertise, some will be business inputs, and some will be basic model fundamentals. How we handle incorrect output. There is nothing called incorrect output. The incorrect output is basically your model not doing good. And if that is the case, you go back and retrain model, or you see what is the problem with the data. Model deployment on cloud is nothing fancy. Same pickle files or same model objects. You have to just follow a given framework on that particular cloud and it will work. Inliners treatment. Inliners in what context? Okay, end-to-end project I can create. This was the interview question. Yes, they will ask you to check your understanding of the things. Mohammed Taib is asking a lot of SQL Server. Do you suggest whether if any one you learn, if you are able to write query in, let's say, SQL Server, or let's say MySQL, or let's say Postgres, then you no need to be afraid of others actually. It is 90% same only, okay? So any one is fine. Whatever one you can learn comfortably, easily. What are the topics you get in your paid course? So I have a data science course. Here in this chat only there are people joined who are already enrolled in that course. So they can tell you more about that, but high level my course will include introduction to data science, Python for data science, then machine learning, stats, and resume preparation and interview guidance, and projects, and some of the questions, quizzes, etc. So whoever wants to join the course, you have to go to www.unfolddataScience.com and purchase the course. I will just put the link here once. This course is intended to make your journey in data science smooth and easy. Okay, so you have to be very clear on what is this course made for. So this course is made for a streamlined and smooth learning in data science for you. Fee is very less. You can go and check that. All the details on the website I have posted here. How to get freelancer project in data science. So there are various websites on that you can get, but again, people will ask you your expertise, your past work, your past experience. So you should have those things ready. Then you can charge them good money. Otherwise, they will not pay you good money. Okay. So another 3 minutes, guys. If there is nothing else, maybe I will see you all next Thursday live. And do you like this session? Do you think that these sessions, give you knowledge and give you some understanding of the things, and I should continue these sessions? Is Scala important? If you know Scala, it's good. If you don't know, it's not a blocker. Thanks guys for motivating me by your comments. Okay. And I released a video on how to survive your first data science job. You have to watch that video. Thanks, Vivek, for the words. Yes, Yash Kavaya, you can write me an email and I will do a mock interview. Only one disclaimer, that will come live on the YouTube, this channel, and Full Data Science channel. I hope you are fine with that. Anybody has any issues in purchasing the course, they can just write me an email or reach me on LinkedIn or watch my last video. There will be a link in that. Thanks, Srinivas. Thanks, Saib. Thanks, Yash. Thanks, everyone, for joining. My Belgium trip was very good. Belgium is all about fries, French fries, chocolates, waffles, beer, all food. Lot of fries people will eat there. I mean, French fries. So it's tasty actually, but how much of fries you can eat, right? I mean, it's good, but if you keep eating, you keep eating. And then chocolates are very good in Belgium actually. I mean, also the dark chocolate, milk chocolates, and waffles are the uh, specialty of Belgium. They will put some very good chocolates, and it's very good actually. Overall, the environment is very nice, feel good kind of place. In-person session, normally I will not give, but yes, I can guide for uh, if you are in a different country, you will be seeing a different price for the course. Okay. And I advise everyone, go ahead and see the course content. As I told you, this is intended to make you learn data science in a structured way, but not very deep. Okay. So it will be structured, but it will not be very deep. So just go ahead, read the content of the course, everything. And yes, it is priced very low. Whether you are in India or whether you are in outside of India, it is priced very low. Okay. So if you have any doubts on that, you can obviously reach me. No problem. Oh, there is another Aman. Do you charge only 35? Yes. You can ask course related doubts to me in email or LinkedIn or anywhere, no problem. So go to unfoldddatascience.com, www.unfoldddatascience.com, and you can go ahead with your purchase. Okay. And I will come up on Thursday for another interesting session, guys. Till then, take care. It's late for you all. Okay. See you all in next Thursday. Okay. I have knowingly given the life 365 days, 1 year access, because from my experience and from everyone's experience around you, if you are not doing an online course in 365 days, you are not going to do that lifetime. Okay. So there has to be a time limit. Hence, I have put 1 year limit on the course. Thanks everyone for joining. Take care.